Hello everyone, this is Adrian and I have a new release for you today. Today we're going to release Avo 4 with a bunch of new stuff, new UI, new add-ons, new everything. I cannot wait to show you. We're going to have a cool demo of the new UI and the new add-ons, and we're going to talk about pricing and structure and all of the things that are changing and upgrades and everything that's happening. So, you know, they always say never release on a Friday, but who cares about what they say? We're going to release it anyway. So let's get into it. So yeah, we're releasing Avo 4 today. It's been 15 months in the making, definitely too long. You'll see why, because we went too far and too deep with some things, but we hope you love it. So let's get into it. First, I want to talk about the new things. And the first and most striking thing will be the new UI, which has been overhauled. We have been keeping to a few of our things, kind of the left right kind of layout, but you'll see that it's very much tweaked and very much changed. The first thing that you'll notice is a little bit of a new layout. We've been taking inspiration from better designs from Statamic or Shopify and others. We haven't gone to the Shadzian kind of look. We have this new card design languagey thing. We have hired a designer to make all of these. So it's not just us winging it. So yeah, the first thing you'll see is probably not the first thing, but you'll definitely look for it. We have this new appearance speaker, this new appearance API, and I'm just going to go through it. We have dark mode. Yes, it's here. It's all throughout. It's using CSS variables. So you or your LLM, whenever you build something custom inside Avo, you'll be able to use these CSS variables, which are very well documented, and you'll be able to have light, dark mode, basically automatically. Another thing that we brought was different neutral colors. So if you don't like that bland dark gray, you can go with mauve or olive or taupe or mist or whatever you think it's best. And then another thing that we have is this new, let me just select this so you can see it better, this new accent color. So you'll see that some of the colors change, like these ones, and then this primary button changes as well, and some other things around the UI as well. So again, you can make it yours a little bit more. Next, we'll be able to in a future iteration, we'll be able to have theming as well. So you'll have a page somewhere around here where you can play with the color picker and color everything that you want to color. So yeah, it's on a brand new stack, Tailwind 4. Again, view components, CSS variables, all the cool stuff that you would expect. Accessibility, this is something that we wanted to bring to Avo for a long time. I know if some of you have compliance restrictions, you have to be accessible. So now we have taken the leap, and it's WCAG 2.2 accessible, and we are going to keep that standard. It's the standard for EU and for the US. So it's very accessible. You will be able to do a lot of keyboard navigation to whatever you are used to, and you'll see like everywhere the accessibility touches. We have a new redesigned sidebar. You'll see that all of the items now have icons. Yeah, that was difficult to build. And now we have this new sub items kind of API where you can go in. That's another thing. What else? You'll see that the global search has been redesigned. So now you can go and say Adrian, and it'll go and search through all of your resources. And if you just hit enter, it'll take you to a global search page. And if you want to go just to teams and say AD, probably won't find anything. But yeah, that this is here. So everything is powered by Hotwire, not that old JavaScript plugin. So you'll be able to take control of any partial and do whatever you think is best. What else? On the index, the resource search has been changed as well. So if you go here, it'll search inline, which is freaking amazing. One thing that I didn't talk about was keyboard shortcuts. Yes, we have them. I am a very big fan of keyboard shortcuts, and this is probably why it took 15 months to build, because I went too far with them. If you hit the question mark or shift question mark, you'll see this screen. I'm just going to show you really quick how they work. So if you go Command K, you'll go to the search. If you hit just forward slash, you'll go to this search. Shift and backward slash, it'll just toggle the sidebar. But the cooler things are around the resource kind of field. So if I hit A, I go into actions, and if I had more, I could be able to go up and down and just hit enter and then command enter or something, and then that action would be applied. Another thing that I can do is hit Shift T and go down, 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 or up, 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 and then space, 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 and then actions if I want to do something, and then it'll just do it for me. Then if I just want to, let's say, go into a record, I can do JK. No, come on, don't. Okay, JK. JK will do basically the same thing, but without it being focused. Hit enter. Okay, if I like what I see, I hit E for edit. Then I go down. I think it's Shift T again. Tab, tab, tab. Maybe Yaro's email is not the best, and then Command enter. And then if I want to go back to the index, I can hit B. So for go back, or I can hit I to go to index every time. So you see how you're kind of in this Vim mode where you can just do stuff with your keyboard. You'll find all the keyboard shortcuts here. If you want to do cancel, whatever you want to type, you'll see them pop up here. So yeah, I'm a little bit crazy on the keyboard shortcuts, and now you can be as well. Let's talk a little bit about the new add-on. So you'll see this beautiful cloud here, but let me switch it to a list. We have new things like the Kanban boards. I'm going to quickly demo you some of these features. So you'll be able to have boards with multiple record types. So this has PRs, issues, and tasks, and you'll be able to do whatever you want to these and just move them around and edit and remove things, and you can just do that like a regular Kanban board. We have forms. This is something that you've requested for a long, long time. You've told us that you have things in your database which aren't necessarily resources. They aren't records. They are maybe settings or flags or things like that, and you wanted to edit them, but they're not a resource per se. So we've created the new DSL called forms. It's similar to an action maybe. So you'll be able to use the fields, and then you'll have a handle method, and whatever you pass into the fields as a param, you'll have it in this handle method. So for example, here I'm just adjusting the title of this app. So you can have multiple forms on one page, which is this two forms on one page. You can have multiple pages, or you can have one big form on one page. Like, it's very customizable. You'll be able to use it in a resource tool. It's really, really, really cool. JSON API, this is a cool one. So for example, this is another thing that you ask, like, hey, I just need an API out of my resource. Like, I already configured it. Like, I already have like which fields I want to export. Now you can have it. So this HTTP users, like, it feeds off of this endpoint. So because we have the users endpoint configured, users resource configured, we have this beautiful JSON endpoint just created for you. It's also versioned. You can have multiple versions if you want to do that. It has pagination data. You can customize all of this, and the fields are it just knows which fields and how to display them because you have configured them in your a resource. So yep, that's another thing, one less thing for you to think about. Similar to JSON API, like the reverse probably is the HTTP resource. You've told us that I have data in places which I access using an HTTP endpoint, right, an RESTful endpoint, and I would like to be able to see them inside my control panel, my admin panel. So we built that for you. So we have resources which are not backed by the database. We had them before. They were called array resources. So you basically pass them on array, but they weren't very performant when we wanted to do HTTP endpoints, but now we have them. So this is feeding off of the OpenAlex.org API, if you're familiar with that, and you can go in and it just does another get request on one record, and then you can hit edit and update. So it'll do patch and put requests, and you can use actions on them, and you can use all the field types which we already support inside Avo. So it's a really, really cool way of integrating any type of HTTP endpoint. So we are quite about that. What else? We have notifications. So in this demo, we just have the notifications when a course has been created or updated or destroyed. So you'll have this tiny thing here where you can like mark as done or mark as read unread or bookmark, or you can go into view all notifications and you have a bigger view where you can have more information. And again, you can go which ones are done, which ones are read or unread, and it's a really cool way to keep your team on the same page. One less thing for you to think about. What else? Collaboration. This is a cool new one. Where is it? I think on courses. Let's pick one. So you have your tiny chat based on this resource. So I'll just go and say hi there, of course with a typo, and I can leave replies, and this is a cool way of keeping track of what people are talking about a specific record. And you can do more things like watch for whenever like has skills has changed. Like if I go here and say okay, this one has been changed, you'll be able to show this change inside the activity. So whenever you need a history of something, of a project, of a course, of a plan, of a subscription, whatever, you'll be able to see what you and your teammates have been talking about on it here, and what changed as well. So it's a cool way to, again, have a timeline on everything. What else? Reactive fields. Yeah. So a few cool ones as well. Another thing that I want to talk about is the pricing. So, and the licensing structure and everything. So we have been thinking about that for a long time. I know you've been telling us like, hey, sometimes these features we had basically two tiers, like pro and advanced, and whenever we had a new feature we just stick it into one of those, and some of them are free, and that didn't really make sense for all of you. So we didn't know how to articulate that and how to fix it, and I think now we kind of do. So what we did was we just unbundled everything. So before we had like two tiers, and now everything is an add-on. So we have dynamic filters, that's an add-on. Record ordering, that's an add-on. Scopes, that's an add-on. And everything is like a separate add-on. I'll show you how this works, which you can go pick and choose and buy, and you can have it in your cart, and it's on your subscription on your license. And then we kind of figured out like, hey, some of these things kind of look the same. So we created bundles where we have like a few of these add-ons, and the bundle comes at a much lower price than cost than you would have if you just picked all of those. So you can go and pick bundles and or add-ons and just have them in your cart. And then you kind of figure out like, hey, maybe some people just want everything, and we have an everything bundle as well, so that comes at the lowest price possible. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to go into pricing. Oh, it's not this one, it's this one. So when you go into pricing, you'll see this. So free to start, best value all in. So you can go free, community, you see what you have. All in is $249 at launch. It'll be $299 per month. Then you have all of these, add-ons. And then if you prefer a la carte, if you just want to pick and choose, you can do that. And now you have this new UI where you can go and say, okay, maybe, I'm just going to shut this down. I want authorization and then custom controls, and this is it. And this would cost like $60 per month. And then, you're so close, get the essentials bundle for 15 more, and you get all of these things like menu editor, global search, and everything. Okay, let's just get that. And now it's 75 for a month, and I have all of these. And these are the essentials. So authorization, menu editor, global search, record reordering, like all of the things that you kind of need. Then we have some of the bigger growth bundle, we call it, where we have all of the new thingsies like forms and nested records and Kanban. And of course, you can just pick forms if you need that, and that will get added. And then we have the integrations bundle, but we do have two add-ons coming soon, MCP and CLI, which are going to be really, really cool. Meta and dynamic collections as well. They're incoming, or you can get everything and you just go for $249 and start 14-day free trial. So this is the new pricing. I know everything is a subscription. We hate it. You hate it. I know. Everything is a subscription to us whenever we subscribe to services and we pay for stuff. We removed the perpetual fallback license that we had before. So now this means that whenever you stop paying, you stop using. we hate it, you hate it, we know. Again, we cannot build a business on that. Nobody can build a business on once paid product. Nobody. It's just like a SaaS, like, Basecamp through all throughout to Gmail. You pay and you get things. So yeah, this is the pricing. What else? Yep. What happens with my Avo 3 license and app? That's probably your next question. Well, if you're not ready to upgrade to Avo 4, that's fine. You can just stay on Avo 3. You'll be able to use that indefinitely according to the terms. While you pay a subscription, you get the updates. We plan on keeping it up to date and give critical bug fixes and security updates to Avo 3 for a long, long, long time. So you'll be able to use that. You're not in a hurry to jump to Avo 4. It's not difficult to jump to Avo 4. We have this cool little upgrade page, which in the same fashion that we had before, we have everything documented, like step by step. Why did we remove it? Why did we change it? La la la. And now we have this upgrading using a coding agent prompt. So you just take this prompt and pass it to your LLM, and it'll read this page and do it one by one and confirm them and create a list for you and yada yada yada. So everything becomes even easier to upgrade. You can literally upgrade in probably this afternoon. So you'll be able to use Avo 3 forever or whenever you're ready to switch. When you're ready to switch, you're going to go into your project in Avo 3 and you can hit this button, try Avo 4. It's going to have 14-day trial included. So in that trial, you'll be able to have access to Avo 3 and Avo 4 at the same time. So you'll be able to test it on local, push it to production. And after you ensure that everything is right on production, everything, you come back here and say, yes, this button will be fully migrate to Avo 4. And you click that one and you'll get upgraded to Avo 4, and then you'll have access only to Avo 4 gems. So yeah, that's gonna be it. We have a special launch for the first few months. We're gonna have a 50% off for 3 months for Avo 3 to Avo 4 upgrade. So you'll be able to take advantage of that as well. It's kind of like our little thank you for being with us so long and helping us build Avo to what it is. This brings me to one of our last points, like everything what we talked about, like what I talked about on the video. You can see in this article that I took a long time to write. One of the last points on this article is why Avo? Like, why do we still need Avo? This is something that I've been having conversation, like it's been on our mind since November, December, since all this whole thing started. Like, okay, is this, does code really matter anymore? Like coding is solved, like Claude can build this in a prompt or whatever. Like, we get it, like LLMs are cool and everything, but can they actually build it in a prompt? Because like it took us a little bit of time to kind of figure out, like, hey, LLMs can build an admin panel in one prompt, but I can't deploy that. Like whenever I build something that is 10 files, like 15 files to 20 files, and touches the database and it has forms, and then it massages the data and whatever, I don't trust it. Like I literally can't do it. It's not only Java, like everything. Like I'm not even I can't one shot something and deploy it to production or give it to my customers. I will never be able to do that as an engineer. There are a lot of authorization and authentication holes, dropped edge cases, N+1 queries, different performance things. Like you just can't do it. And then I kind of figured out, and I think you've kind of figured out, like in the whole industry, the work didn't disappear. Like, yes, the typing is faster and cheaper because it does it for you, but then the work moves on to you. You have to be the security reviewer, the QA, the maintainer for the code that you didn't freaking write. So it's not a done problem. Like it's not a solved problem. Like I build internal toolsy, like merge these to PDFs or like this Excel file, like whatever, but I wouldn't be able to sanely deploy something that I one shot at and is very complex and just deploy it to production. I wouldn't be able to do that. So the way we think about it is we distill this, like you actually don't have one app, you have two apps. You have the public app, where your customers interact and do the valuable, they get the value from your product. And then you have the internal tool, which is in fact a separate app to like think about about security, data integrity, to think about architectural decisions, naming decisions, all of those things. And this shouldn't be something that's on your mind. Like the customer, doesn't pay you for this. They pay you for the public one, right? They pay you for the valuable thing. So this is basically a done problem, a solved problem, but through something like Avo, where the decisions have been made not just by us, but hundreds of teams that are using it. Hundreds of teams, they submit CVEs. They take care of the security. They find edge cases and different scenarios and all of these things, which when you one shot at one prompt and you just check it out from whatever you see in your LLM, this is, oh my god, this is amazing. But after deployed, it breaks into production. It doesn't handle the edge cases. Like, it doesn't do a lot of things. So again, um, don't stop using LLMs. It's like you just point them to the right thing. So LLMs work very nicely with Avo. So Avo becomes this backbone which ensures that the data is secure and the data integrity is there, the authorization is there. Like, the right people can do the right things. The decisions have been made about how to show data on the screen, in the best way, the best manner possible. Accessibility is there. Usability, like, the value is there, and the LLM can build around it because it can build inside Avo, or it can build like around Avo. So the way we look at it, it comes down to, and this is this is going to be tacky, like we call it the 3 T's. Probably we're going to rename it. So it's time, trust, and taste. So yeah, Avo saves you time because you don't have to think about all of these things. You don't have to waste mental energy. It's trust. So we took those decisions. We are doing the security audits and all of our customers. And taste, well, we sweat on the little freaking details to make sure, like, the proper CSS variable is applied in the proper place, and whatever. This is something like the keyboard shortcut works whenever you hit tab and the modal is up. Like, all of those things are solved within Avo, and it's built by a team. It's human reviewed. It has the proper, not one-shotted slop foundation, because we're 5 years in, almost 6 years in. So this is a solved problem for you. Like this, it's we really honestly don't think that an LLM and AI, I want to call it AI slop because it's not only AI slop, but AI coded big projects are the best way to go. So this is where we think that Avo is still here. It's not a stitched together internal tool, but it's an ecosystem where you can trust it to do the things that you know or you think it should do, right? So yes, Avo is live today after 15 months, almost, I think, 2,000 commits or something, with a new UI, new add-ons, a bigger and healthier ecosystem. We've been, we are a small team with a few close partners who have been helping us. About 50 teams have been, kicking the tires with Avo and sending us feedback. So we've been working on this for the past 15 months. We are incredibly proud of what it is and what it became, and we hope that you love it as well. So we have 15-day, 14-day trials. We have 50% off for 3 months for Avo 3 to Avo 4 upgrades. We have a special bonus for our, Avo beta testers, but that's another thing. Avo 4 is here. It's ready for production. It's secure. You can upgrade in an afternoon. We really hope you love it. And we sincerely want to thank you for being with us and helping us build this incredible product, which we love. Thank you so much. Have a good one.